Hi, this is Michelle from Granite State Stamper, and this is the card we're going to make today. The base is a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 baked brown sugar cardstock, scored in half at 5 1/2. And then for the background, we will be using the hardwood background stamp, and I'll be stamping that in Smoky Slate. And when stamping a large background stamp, I always find it easier to use the ink pad to ink up the stamp as opposed to putting the stamp onto the ink pad. I use my grid paper to get that straight and line this up straight over the top. Just press down firmly. Put that to the side. And I've already stamped 2 more pieces. If you notice on the card, I have boards that are going across, and also for the inside I did the same thing, just as for the background. And so one of these, this one, I'll just find my scissors there, and you will just cut up the lines between the boards, and you're going to need 4 of these. Okay. And using grid paper, I just lined it up with the lines. And I attached one, it's 1 inch, which is 4 of the squares. 1 inch from the bottom and then 1 inch from the top on both of the pieces. And then when you're done, just turn it over and trim off the extra pieces. Okay, we'll set those aside, and we will create the pumpkin. And to create the pumpkin, you're going to need 5 of the large oval punch ovals punched out of pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to punch 1 because I already have the other ones punched out. Oh, excuse me, you actually need 6. You need 5 for the pumpkin, and then I punched out 1 extra one for the border around the sentiment. And then for 5 of those, the 5 that are for the pumpkin, you'll take your pumpkin pie ink and you'll just sponge around the edges. Get 5 in here. And then for the leaf, I have the bird builder punch with a piece of old olive, and just stick it in. You mostly want the the leaves, but a little bit of the stem to attach it to the back of the card. And then for the stem, I used the oval punch again, and I just stuck a piece of baked brown sugar in the corner, punched that off, and then I went back in and angled it so it's a little thicker at the top than the bottom, a little thinner at the top than the bottom. Punch that again. And then I just got off the top so it was like a pumpkin shape. And both of these are going to be sponged also. And this is the old olive. And your fingers will get a little messy doing this because the leaves are so small. And then the baked brown sugar. And now we'll attach them. And when putting mine together, I use the Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue. It's just easier to reposition them as you're creating it for me. You take one, and I just put a line of glue on either side, and then holding it face with the front side up, I just put an oval behind it. And I tend to keep the top in a little closer than the bottom so that you get a wider base of the pumpkin than the... And then you take another one and you do it to the other side. Gotta push those in a little bit of a... Okay, and then you'll do the same thing. You put another line of glue, one on each side. Flip it over. And then put your last two ovals behind there. Okay, and now we'll attach the leaves. And I like to have it like hanging over the edge a little bit. So I'll put the position where I want it and turn it over. Put a little bit of glue, or a lot of glue in this case, behind it. And that won't matter because we're going to actually attach this to the card with dimensionals, so. Then a little glue on the base of the stem. And this stem is going to be going different directions than my other one, but that's okay. Okay. Just hold it for a second while it dries. Okay, and now we're going to attach this to the base of the card using dimensionals. And I also use the dimensionals to hold down the pieces also. Actually, I'm going to want one up under the stem and the leaf a little bit. And I will cut a little teeny piece. A little piece to hold the leaves. And that's done. And now we'll do the sentiment. have a scrap piece of white. And on this, I'm going to be using the, let me find the stamp set. It's around here somewhere. It's from the So Very Grateful stamp set, and I only want So Very Grateful. So for the first half of the, for the first couple words, I'm going to use some Post-it tape to cover it over while I ink it out. And then you take that off. And punch that out with the large oval punch. And now for this, the other oval that you, pumpkin pie oval, I'm just going to cut that in half. Not quite half. And I'm going to attach it to the back of the sentiment. My fingers are dirty. Making it just a slight border. You only want a little, a very small one, so that it's still, because we're going to layer this over the scallop oval punch. And if you do too large of a border, it won't fit. And now we need a scallop oval. That there, and before we attach it to the card, I'm going to use a piece of cardstock, and this is 5/8 of an inch wide, and I'm just going to pin at the end, and then use the sponge just to sponge the edges of that. And then I place the sentiment on and put this behind it, just so I don't get it too close to the edge. So that's about where I would like it. So lay that down. Trying to get it straight. Then attach the same with dimensionals. Then we'll just attach this over the top. And then trim off the extra. And then to attach, we're going to add a candy dot and a candy dot base on the top. And to attach that, take a hole punch and center it, and try to center it side to side and from the top to the sentiment. Attach the base, and then try to find where I put my candy dots. Oh, they're here. There they are. You can use either pumpkin pie or Old Olive. I like the way Old Olive looks, so an Old Olive candy dot. And actually try to get in the base. Okay, and now we can assemble the card. I will be attaching this to the base of the card. I'll attach the top layer onto a piece of 5 by 3 3/4 inch pumpkin pie. And I should have put the adhesive on this first. Whoops, my brad is sticking up there. There. And that's what I like to use the Mono Multi. It allows me to reposition it a little bit if I make a mistake. And now I'll attach the inside piece. To another piece of pumpkin pie. And then we'll attach this to the inside of the card just using the Mono Multi. And then we'll attach this to the base using dimensionals. To the front of the card using dimensionals. And there's the card. I hope you like this. Thanks for watching.